Given what we have studied so far, don't you think we could use all of this information to create a sales pitch that the prospect just won't resist? We already know that we need to grab their attention, spark their interest, make them make choices, and lead them to action. We also know how prospects think and how their brains make choices, plus we also figured out how great leaders inspire action using the golden circle, the why, how, what sequence. On top of that, we know that we got to identify the who factor in the communication, because knowing why, how, and what is just not enough. You need to focus that why, how, what into a who. You need to know who you're speaking to and who you're delivering the message. And if you're able to do that, you will be able to grab your prospect's attention, start delivering to the old brain, the part of the brain that makes decision, and actually influence a purchase decision in their brains. What you will hear now is how to design an actual converting sales page. We're gonna take what we have learned so far and apply that to create a structure for a sales page that you can copy and you can actually fill in having your product in mind or your service in mind. Like anything, good content is divided in three main parts: beginning, development, and conclusion. The good pitch is the one that is centered on the prospect, not the seller. But it's not just the prospect that the pitch revolves around, it's also your product. So what's the thing that ties the prospect to your product? That's easy. Your prospect has a problem that your product can solve. Get this sentence in your mind. Your prospect has a problem or situation that your product or service can actually solve. So in the introduction of your pitch, you must first identify the problem that your prospect wants to solve. In this same introduction, you identify the who, and you actually make something to call his attention. The number one way to call his attention is by diagnosing the problem. And with this diagnose, the prospect actually will feel identified with this problem, and immediately in his mind he will start to look for a solution. But that doesn't matter, because you will be there ready to provide the prospect with what they need, with the solution for their problem. In the same introduction, you need to identify the why. You need to be able to spark your prospect's interest that there's actually a solution for their situation. But this is not any kind of solution. It's the exact solution they need and they were looking for. But you don't tell them what this solution is right now. You wait a bit. Just after that, you need to use the method of the repetition. You start repeating the same thing in different words. You have seen how other products are doing that. They just say the same things over and over. So just make sure you use it like 2 or 3 times. Just make sure that you repeat it. This way it sticks right on your prospect buyer's mind, and you actually need to be remembering them that they have a problem and that they need a solution, and you need to repeat to them that you have the solution that can solve their problems. All they need to do is just give you a couple of minutes of their time and actually hear out what you have to say. That's all you need to tell them, and that's all they need to do so far. Make sure you let them know that you know that their time is valuable, that you know how much time is really worth it, and that if they give out those couple of minutes into hearing what you need to say, they won't regret it. That's what you need to tell them. So, in this first paragraph, the introduction, you need to identify the who and the why. So at first, you call out their attention, you diagnose the problem, you state that they need to solve the problem and that you have a solution. to this problem. And just make sure to say that and repeat that in different words until it's clear and they remember it. They need to remember that they have a problem and that they need to solve the problem, and that actually this communication only has the goal of them solving the problem. Okay, that's the goal of the communication, that's the goal of the pitch, that they solve their problems. Okay, your product is just a way for them to solve the problem, but that's not the main aim. The main aim, what prospects only care, is that they solve their problems. They do not care if they buy one or other products. They do not care if this or that service is the one that suits them best. They only need for their problems, for their situation, and no matter what product you offer to them, they will just buy it. Because that product is what they were looking for. And guess what? They finally found it.